Well, hi there. Good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, depending on where you are. Welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph, and I'm the host of this show. So today we're doing a look back. Sorry, it's a little bit of a glare off my hat from the picture behind me. I'll try to cover it up a bit. Anyways, my name is Murph, and this is a site dedicated to progressive rock, hard rock, heavy metal, and other rock genres. Today is a Monday night, so we're doing a look back at a classic rock album. And that album is this one, Supertramp's Breakfast in America. An album that means a great deal to me personally. I bought this album in album form when I was about 16, right around the time it came out. And I don't even know where I put my, oh, here they are. My glasses. I think it was a 79 release, if I'm correct. Yep, 1979 release. Great album. Was my introduction to Supertramp, and I think it was a very good introduction. The album's, I've since listened to a lot of their other stuff too, and this album's a bit more commercial than the rest, but still really great. It's got like 10 tracks on it. 7 of them are really good. The other 3, maybe not quite as good, but still pretty good songs. I don't think there's any really bad songs on the album. So anyways, Supertramp released this album on March the 29th, 1979. Was recorded at the Village Recorder Studio in Los Angeles. It's 46 minutes or so long. And it was on A&M label and produced by Peter Henderson and Supertramp. Okay, featured on here, the band members are Rick Davies, vocals, keyboards, clavinet on the Logical Song, and harmonica on Take the Long Way Home, which is really good actually. Roger Hodgson on vocals, keyboards, and guitars. John Helliwell on sax, vocals, and woodwinds. Bob Sieberking on drums. I think I got that right, or maybe it's Cyber King. It might be Cyben King. Seibenberg, sorry. I keep wanting to say King for some reason. And then Dougie Thomas on bass. Pretty solid group of guys, and this album is, like most of their albums, very, very good. I'm just going to read my notes up here about the songs so I don't have to look so far over. Okay, so it starts out with well, first of all, there's quite a bit of piano on this album. A lot of piano, a lot of keyboard. The vocals are top shelf from both Hodgson and Davies. There's a lot of some sax and some other woodwind instruments, as well as some harmonica on this album, which are tastefully done as well. Okay, so basically from track 2 to about track 7 are my favorite songs. Like those 6 songs, really good stuff. And then the last track I really like quite a bit too. The other 3 songs, not quite as good, but not bad. They have their moments that I like as well. Okay, so the first track, Gone Hollywood, nice piano on this. And Davies is the vocalist, and there's a little bit of a prominent sax on this as well. Pretty cool song, like it quite a bit, but it's not, to me, it's one of the lower songs on the album. The Logical Song, of course, is the one that's probably the most famous, although Breakfast in America and Take a Long Way Home are definitely, and Goodbye Stranger, are all pretty well-known songs. So it's got a lot of kind of well-known songs on the album. But the Logical Song is probably the biggest song. It was, I think, the biggest hit on the album. Really good keyboard and bass intro. Song, of course, is very memorable. I like the lyrics quite a lot on this song. It's one of my favorite Supertramp songs for lyrics. And Hodgson's vocals are fantastic on this song as well. The next track, the number 3 track, Goodbye Stranger. Nice piano opening, and the vocals are done by Davies. I love the guitar at the end. It's really takes the song right out nicely. The chorus is done by Hodgson, so they kind of, Davies does the main part, and then Hodgson does the chorus part. Really well done as well, real tasteful. Yeah, it's a pretty solid track. Song I've long liked, listened to it quite a bit. The next track, Breakfast in America, another fairly well-known song, probably the next big track on the album. With the vocals are by Hodgson, of course. Pretty solid song. Nothing really outstandish on here, but really well put together. Then we go to Oh Darling. Pretty solid vocals by Rick Davies and dominant piano part on it. I like the guitar and bass and nice support in the background. Pretty solid as well. And then we get to Take the Long Way Home, another fairly well-known, I might say it's the best of the well-known songs on the album. Great opening with the keyboard riff and then the piano cutting in, and then that harmonica that we talked about earlier that Davies does here, and it's really tastefully done as well. And the vocals are done by Hodgson. Fantastic again. Probably my favorite track, number 7 is probably my favorite track overall on the album, like over the length of the album. The album, of course, had a lot of meaning to me early, and this song was that song. I used to turn the lights out and listen to this song a lot. I just sit there and listen to it. It's really catchy. I love the piano. It's dominant in this song. Hodgson's vocals are fantastic. I feel, to me, it's the best track on the album. The number 8 song, number 8 and 9, I originally thought were kind of filler, but they've kind of grown on me a bit. I think they were probably thrown on the album to help fill it out at one point, but they've grown on me a little bit over time. The upbeat part of Just Another Nervous Wreck, I really kind of like that. It's a funny title for a song that's kind of upbeat. The other song, Casual Conversations, is kind of, Rick Davies does the vocals here. It's kind of very mellow. It's mellow. There's this kind of keyboard bit in it that's kind of interesting. It's not like anything else on the album, but to me, it's a bit of a filler song. Maybe to me, it might be the worst track on the album, but it's not by any stretch a bad song. I don't think of it as bad. There's no real bad stuff on this album. And then, of course, we get the Child of Vision, which has a great synth and piano intro, some searing drums and bass fills too, really well done, and Hodgson's vocals are great. This song has a little more bite than a lot of songs on the album. Like, it's a little bit faster paced, a little bit heavier. It's also the longest track on the album as well, so you get more of it. So, all in all, this album is a pretty, not just a solid album, I think it's a very good album, and it did very well when it came out. I think it kind of really launched Supertramp into the stratosphere of, before that they were a very good band. This put them in the upper echelon along with other big bands, so they became a popular band, right? Fantastic album. I've listened to it now, and I had the album originally, and then when I started collecting CDs, it was one of the originally first CDs I got, and played it a lot. Has a kind of an emotional feel for me because it came out at a time when I was going through lots of stuff, and the album was really helpful with me, and so I have a good feeling about it. Still listen to it on occasion. I listened to it this afternoon because I like to do that before I actually do a look back on it. So if you haven't heard this album, I highly recommend it. It's a good first album if you haven't been into Supertramp before, because it's not too difficult to listen to. It's very catchy, lots of catchy hooks, lots of catchy melody, and lots of really good piano on this album, I think. Maybe their best piano album. Maybe not. There may be tracks on other albums that have really better, solid piano on it, but overall, the piano is really strong on this album. And I really, I really like the bass playing on this album too. It's more notable to me as time goes on. I've noticed it a lot more. Anyways, there you have it. Supertramp's Breakfast in America. Gotta love the I kind of like the cover too. With, I think that's the city of New York, and she's carrying a menu and a nice glass of OJ. Anyways, a pretty fantastic album. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, like and subscribe, and let me know your particular favorites on this album and what you kind of think of this album. That would be something I'd like to see. And so this is actually the first Supertramp album I've done a look back at, which surprised me. I thought I did one or two others, but I actually did a top 10 Supertramp list. So top 10 favorite songs, that is. So yeah, a good one. A good one. I'll probably do all the other ones as time goes on as well. So coming next week for a look back, I hadn't really given it a lot of thought until just before the video. And I think it's time to go back to Styx. I've done a few Styx. I had done Equinox and Cornerstone, and I did a review of their new Crash of the Crown a little bit ago too, so I'm not quite sure when I did it. Probably right around the time it was released last year. So I think I'm going to go back, and I think I'm going to do Cornerstone next week. So next Monday it'll be Styx's Cornerstone. So I hope you look forward to hearing about that one. I look forward to re-listening to it. Kind of the album that changed Styx a bit, so they started going down a more mellow thing. But it's a pretty cool album. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and hope to see you next week. So this is Murph from Prog Monster. You have a good night. Bye.